There we go. Okay. Well, Erin and I, to start off the meeting today, Erin and I would like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you and to what I consider our holiday meeting, because we are approaching the holiday season very quickly. I don't even know how we got here. And I just want you to know that it's been such a pleasure to see such dedicated and talented people on our group here, our recruiting mastermind group. And as we come together today, I would like us to look forward to what's coming in 2024 and your commitment to excellence in staffing and in our staffing industry has not only driven our success, but this group has made a significant impact with giving, and not only this group, but all of the ASG groups have made a significant impact on providing us some outstanding information and meetings. So in today's meeting, I think it's more about discussing business than anything. And I would like you guys to actively participate. And if you read my little note, I'm going to give don't go away until I tell you who won the little giveaway. I'm going to give a gift card away to somebody, but I'm going to have to email it to you. So I encourage you to actively participate. That's what it's all about. We want to learn. We want to gain insights from everybody, collaborate, and ensure that we continue to raise the bar in our staffing industry. So without further ado, let's kick it off. And we're going to kick it off today with a roll call. So I can start out real quick. I'll make it very short. I'm Deborah Lightfritz. I am the community talent leader with the Reserves Network out of Fairview Park, Ohio. A lot of you know Neil Stallard. I celebrated my 18th year with the company on December the 5th. However, it's been 40 years that I've been in the staffing industry, and I'm only 25. So, and I've been hosting the ASG group with Roy. I don't know. I want to feel like it's been like, I don't know, 8 years. I don't know. It's been a while. And that's who I am.
I'll jump in next.
Billy, you want to start, Billy, to the left? Oh, Aaron, sorry. Aaron, you go. And then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Aaron Barton. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing for LeaderStat. We're a healthcare staffing company based out of Palo, Ohio, right outside Columbus. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, where we also have an office. I have been helping Deborah out for coming on year number 2 now. So it's been awesome to be a part of this group and be with Deborah. And I too just recently had an anniversary, not as long as yours, Deborah. I've been with LeaderStat now for 4 years, and I've been in staffing going on 13 years now.
Wow.
I'll go. Hi, good to see everybody. Billy Lynch, Pro Resources. I'm the VP of Operations and Sales. I used to run these meetings, so it's nice nice to jump in every once in a while now. I've been with Pro, I started when I was 14, so it's been a long time that I've worked with Pro. I worked for Marriott in between there, but back as an adult for 12 years now.
Wow.
13 years maybe?
Really start, Billy, when you were 14.
Yeah, my first job.
No kidding.
Yep, I used to clean our Fort Wayne offices, but it's also the first job I got fired for because I was a 14-year-old boy cleaning offices. So there's that. Well, I worked all the way up through college and then worked for Marriott and then came back when we got married. So 12 years ago.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome. I'll go ahead and go next. I'm Kyle Fitzgerald. I'm with Pace Staffing. I'm Vice President of Recruiting and Client Solutions. I've been in staffing for 31 years, since 1992, and I started when I was 10. And I have been with Pace Staffing for about 12 years total.
Thank you, Kyle.
I'd be happy to go next. I work alongside Kyle at Pace Staffing Network. We're headquartered up here in Bellevue, Washington, and primarily do administrative professional staffing. And I've been with Pace now 5 years.
Woohoo, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. Mr. Roy Fazio, I can see the tippy top of your head.
Well, thanks. I'm recovering from, I got a new hip 2 weeks ago, so I'm sitting on my couch here. That's why I was trying to be non-visible for a while there. So thanks everybody for joining, and then thanks Deb and Aaron once again for doing this and being two great co-leaders for the Recruitment Mastermind.
Hope you feel better there, Roy.
Yeah, feeling better every day. Walked a half a mile a day.
Looks
I
like
can
Miss
go.
Is that, I'm gonna go across the board here, Tara. Is that you speaking?
Yeah, I can go. I can turn on my
Yeah.
camera here. I have a dog in the back, but I'm Tara Maslin. I am the regional recruiting manager for Employment Solutions out of Denver, Colorado. I am over the Denver and Northern Colorado offices. You guys might know Christy and Charlie, who are in Ohio. And so that is me. I've been with Employment Solutions going on 4 years, which is crazy. I've been in staffing for 12 years, and I came from hospitality staffing. We specialize in light industrial warehouse manufacturing. So happy to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you. We're glad to have you. Looks like Miss Gina Hilliard's next.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gina Hilliard. I'm the VP of Operations for Lingo Staffing. We're headquartered out of Richmond, Virginia, but have locations in 10 states, a total of 16 branches. I've been with Lingo for, this is my 11th year, and I've been in staffing going on 14.
Thank you. Thank you, Gina. Jordan Aquino.
Hi, everyone. I'm currently our trainer with Adventure Staffing. Our home office is located in Iowa, but we have branches throughout Iowa, Nebraska, and Minnesota. Excuse me. We work with industrial, clerical, healthcare, and upper-level direct hire placements. I am currently transitioning into a regional manager role, and I have been with Adventure for a little over 8 years.
Congratulations, Miss Aquino. That's great. Lisa Stokes, you out there? Lisa.
I am. I'm sorry, I'm putting out some fires. We're based out of Atlanta. We have a branch in Atlanta, Georgia, and we specialize in admin, accounting, and some IT. We're just giving kind of a rundown of who we are, right?
Yep, just want to know, because it's so cool to know to me that we've got just this little bunch of us, we're all over the place, and we can always lean on each other if we have, if we need help. I think it's wonderful.
Yes.
Brandy. Sorry, Miss Lisa.
Quite all right. I was going to say I've leaned on quite a few people here, so yes, it's very helpful to network. And if you have any issues, you can always bring it to somebody in the group, and there's generally somebody that knows a source or is a source. So it's been great.
Yes, it is. And we're gonna get through this, and then we're gonna powerhouse through a meeting and get some answers to some things that I think on everyone's mind. Brandy, you wanna, by way of introduction here?
Sure. I'm Brandy Clement. I'm the Director of Human Resources for United Talent Staffing. For any of you that have been to an ASG conference, I am sure you know our CEO, Matt Parker. He makes quite the splash wherever room he enters into. I have been with United Talent for 6 years now, almost 6 years, and I have worked both on the operations side, and now I manage our finance and HR departments.
Well, thank you and welcome. Lindsay Grasnick, did I say that right?
You did. I'm Lindsay. I work with WSI. I am our manager of technology and implementation, and I've been here about 3 years. We primarily focus on light industrial warehouse, and we're located in Michigan.
Great. Welcome. Maria, I'm not going to say that last name. How about you? You want to swing at it, Aaron?
She can introduce herself. I don't want to.
I'm trying to be funny here, but keep everybody awake.
Oh, yeah.
Maria, can you announce yourself and tell us how to say your last name?
Absolutely. It's Marie Osmus, and I'm up in Canada. We've got 17 locations across Canada, and I've been
Wow.
with IS2 now 24 and a half years. And sorry, my camera's not working today. I just got a new computer this morning, and of course, they are working on why the camera is not working. So nice to be here with you all.
And Maria, I'm going to count on you to ring in and tell us what life in the staffing world is like in Canada today. So
very,
Miss-
very similar. There's really not a lot of differences. I think Brent said it best on one of the calls a few weeks ago when he said it would look like we appear to work for all the same company. So not a lot of differences, same challenges over the border, and we specialize in light industrial.
Okay. Miss Val Z, can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about you.
Yeah, hi, good morning. I apologize for my voice and not having my camera on. I'm a little bit under the weather, but I'm Valerie and I am with UCP Staffing. I've been with UCP for about going on 4 years. I've been in the staffing industry for about 10 years and located here in Reno. Used to be the business development manager up until a month ago. I'm now the director of recruiting, and I'm excited to be here and get to learn from you. And it's actually good to see some familiar faces from the Kentucky trip.
Did you say Reno, Nevada? Is that what I heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And Tracy Osman.
Hi, Tracy Osman with the QTI Group. I have been with QTI for 26 years. Currently the Staffing Operations Director over here. Light industrial admin, we do have a professional sector and primarily located in Wisconsin.
Wow. Welcome, Tracy. Welcome, Val. And Gary. You out there, Gary? Oh, Gary. Okay, Gary's busy. Marilyn calling.
Sorry, my mouse was not cooperating on my second screen.
Marilyn's part of my team, so I'll let her.
I work with Deborah at the Reserves Network for a little bit longer than she's been here. She just had her 18th anniversary. I'm going on 22. And I am the corporate mentor for the Reserves Network. Previously, I was a branch manager and regional manager. So at this point, I love what I do, mentoring everyone. And our company, as it's growing, we see a greater need for that. And it's just the best ever, right, Deb?
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
to meet everyone.
And Miss Karen, you're the last one, and then we're gonna get right into it here.
Hi, I'm Karen from the Vision Companies. We're in Rogers, Minnesota. I'm the recruiting manager here, and we mainly do light industrial staffing.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being so kind to introduce. I think we haven't done that in a while, and I kind of wanted to revisit you. I haven't made it to any of the ASG meetings the last couple of years, so it's good to see your faces. So again, let's start off the discussion. Number one, what are the latest trends in our industry and that might be affecting your general operations of your business? And I mean, a lot of people, I talked to a lot of people in our industry, and I have what they think it is, but I'd love to hear all of you. Just give me some trends that you think in our industry that are affecting your general operations of your business.
You know, Deborah, I think AI is probably on everyone's mind and how it can be used in our industry. I know we're exploring lots of different ways to do it. Sarah, our director of marketing on this call, has been very, very creative with already using it for many different scripts and emails and letters, but we're starting to explore how it can be used for note-taking for interviews, hands-free for recruiters. But I think AI is a big topic right now. Would love to hear from others on how they're using it, how they'd like to use it. challenges they're seeing, et cetera. That's pretty big on my list right now.
Okay, I'm gonna put that on my to-do to talk to you about. I want to hear from some others, and then we'll see what everyone else is coming up with, and we'll answer that, okay?
Great.
Yeah, I'd agree with Kyle. AI is a big one. We're also kind of in the beginning stages of figuring out how it's going to work for us and what we are going to do to use that. So it's nice that you guys have already kind of started. Good to know that. And Sarah, maybe we'll reach out, but also AI.
AI ×2. Okay. Aaron, I got to ask you, Aaron, I don't know if you fixed your system, but Aaron's primary, out there recruiting for the healthcare industry. And I know that the healthcare industry is super huge right now. What are you guys facing? Anything, Aaron, that you'd like to share with everyone?
Yeah, it's actually slowed down quite a bit the last 3 quarters of this year. I think the biggest thing that we are facing is margin pressure. Our talent got used to making extreme amounts of money on a weekly basis, $10,000 to $12,000 a week on an assignment. And so as the bill rates have come to the new normal, which I'm sure we're all tired of hearing this past year, the talent is still expecting a certain dollar amount to take an assignment. So the margin across the healthcare staffing world has shrunk quite a bit. Historically, it was around 23 to 24% on gross margin, and it's shrinking down to 19, 20%. So it's significant. And bill rates got cut in half from earlier. So that's I think the biggest pressure. There's also the second piece is the recruiting component of healthcare staffing has become very transactional on the front end, where previously it was very relationship driven, primarily around pay transparency. So if you're not paying the most, it doesn't matter how great your website is, how great your customer service is, even access to jobs. The talent is going where they can get the most money. There's not as much loyalty as there once was.
Aaron, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to ask you to repeat yourself if I missed it, but is it healthcare staffing that you do, or a combination of non-healthcare?
Yeah, it's all healthcare staffing. We do some non-clinical roles on a leadership basis, but still within like hospitals and the post-acute space primarily.
Gotcha. We do a lot in non-clinical, but definitely have some overlap where we see a lot in the clinical environment. What a competitive, it is hugely competitive. You're 100% right. We see that all the time.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It kind of all got started with a new sourcing platform. It's not new, but new to the healthcare staffing about 3 years ago. It started as NurseFly and it became Vivian. You literally sort jobs from hundreds of companies by pay. And so if they want an ICU job in Columbus, Ohio, whoever's paying the most is going to get the attention.
Our non-clinical customers are often asking us to do clinical for them because of the challenges they're having, and we can stay far away from it.
Well, Kyle, if you ever need help, feel free to, I'm happy to help your clients out on that side of things.
You know what? I'll absolutely keep that in mind. Thanks, Aaron.
Awesome.
So anyone else want to ring in on the first topic, which is, what are the latest trends in our industry and how they're affecting your operations? And if not,
I will. Yeah.
Go ahead, Billy.
From an AI standpoint, most of you have met Brent before. He's a tech nerd. We have been way out in front of that. We've used ChatGPT forever. We're trying to figure out how to integrate it into Bold or what we can do on that level. But all of our managers, all of our salespeople, they all have chat. Internal communications, we use it for everything. So it's been really good for us. It's so much easier. We use it to write handbooks. We use it to review anything we possibly can. It's a game changer for sure. Our biggest industry trends that we're running in. So we're in Indiana. We have 18 offices in Indiana, 1 in Iowa, all light industrial. Auto really kind of screwed us. RVs kind of screwed us this year. So it's been a little bit tough with that. A little indecisive in the market. Our seasonal business wasn't so seasonal this year. So either they figured out how to do it or they didn't have the demand. I'm not sure what it was, but a bunch of big orders that would have came in there didn't. And our customers have been indecisive on what orders they want to do. So we're currently sitting with a pretty low amount of orders for what it is. The biggest problem we're into this year, though, too, is that people want to hire on. So 5-10 years ago, we had 1,000 people who would just stay on payroll forever. And that supplements so much. And now the market trend has gone to, we want them at 60 days or 90 days or whatever it is. And it is such a grind to flip people over and over that it's hard. Yeah, a ton more. So that's probably our biggest downward pressures that we've had this year, for sure. Trying to figure out how to get around that.
Hey, Billy. Sorry, Deborah, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys.
Billy, just out of curiosity, I'm loving your adoption of AI. Are your recruiters using it to pre-screen candidates and/or screen candidates and interview them?
We are using it to take, if they don't have a resume, and have it create a resume for them. So taking the skills, so they're not spending time to do that. We're using it to take the soft skills or the good skills that they have to create a snippet to send to the customers if they want to get pre-screened. That's another downward pressure that we're hearing backwards, where everybody thinks because employment's low, they need more. You guys know this. And so, but it's saving us time by saying, hey, this is what the work history is. Can you write me a snippet of why people want to use them? So the recruiters will use it for that. It's saving them a ton of time.
Are you using it at all to screen resumes before it even gets in front of your recruiters?
No, not automatically. Now they would use it if they wanted to pick something out of it. But between working and Bold in general and all of the skills that we have set up, most of them screen fairly well for what it is. But if there was something that seemed like a lot of work, they would definitely upload it into it. They've all become very proficient in using it.
Got it. Thank you, Billy.
Yeah.
I was at the SIA Healthcare Summit in Vegas a few weeks back, and obviously hot topic was AI. And they're projecting in the next, and by they, SIA, in the next 3 or so years, about 60% of what our teams do every day will get changed based off of innovation in AI, starting with matching candidates in the system. So recruiters come in and say, hey, call these 10 people. We took AI and ran it through the database. The coolest technology that I saw was a platform called Converse AI. I don't know if anyone has looked at this, but it essentially will replace your chatbot, replace front-end recruitment screening, and have AI screen the candidate when they're available. And obviously there'll be an option for them to talk to a real person. But I saw the demo for it, and I mean, it will change potentially the number of recruiters that we need to have on our team, and change the level, right? You can really focus on people that are very experienced recruiters instead of having maybe those entry-level people just to be brought in for volume. Super cool. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out.
On that note too, we're getting closer to using Sense's chatbot to do all of that too. If anybody who uses Sense, it has come so much far. We were hesitant at first because of the capabilities of what it is, but we're getting pretty close to trying to implement a little of that. And then we are currently, I heard someone talk about note taking or for these meetings. Firefly is a really good plugin that we have started to use here, but probably a lot of you know Tom Erb. If you work with Tom, or if you know Tom uses Firefly in our calls. Brent and I have a call with him every other week, and it is the most accurate thing I've ever seen. It's unbelievable how well it documents what we said, who talks, what was the tone of the meeting, here's the highlights of the meeting. It's pretty cool. So our training department's now using that as they start setting up meetings, just to see what the capabilities are for us, instead of recording meetings, being able to figure out the bullet points of it and send out what that was, because nobody watches an hour-long recording.
Sorry,
I don't even like to be on orders that long.
Billy, what was the name of that application? Sorry.
It's called Firefly.
Got it.
Firefly.
Yeah, I think it shows up as AI Firefly, but I think it's Firefly. And you can find it through Teams, or if you use Teams, it's a plugin that goes in there. I'm sure it's applicable with everything else too.
Are any of you guys using the phone systems that do that? like for recruiting, like the Zoom phone, or I can't remember what the other one is called right now, but that's something that we kind of looked into next year, is that they have the new phone system that's all internet based, platform, cloud-based phones that basically do that same thing. They like summarize the whole call, like the whole recruiting call and things like that. So that's something that we've looked into. I just didn't know if anyone else has used it. But the Zoom phone, that one is the one that I think had the most information.
We just went through a meeting today with Momentum, something along those lines. It was way over my head. Our IT guy set it up, so I was wondering why I was there. However, it sounds like it could be. You have any questions? Like, yeah, why am I here? But it sounds like it can kind of go that way too. They're just trying to see if it integrates with Aviante or not. But yeah, it's such a time saver. It's awesome.
Yeah, and if anyone's interested,
like
I can ask. It is. Well, when you look at when you watch the demos and you see it like break down, because like one thing for us is like the connection to candidates, like because it's so competitive, like I always try to audit, like to make sure that our recruiters are building those relationships instead of just going through the motions. And so with those, it's kind of nice because it's not like all super recorded, but it's recorded, like if you can track how many times they've used words. So like you can say, oh, well, they've used experience, for example, like 5 times in their conversation. And so it's a way to kind of track your recruiter's efforts too.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you guys, from Billy, I know you probably still talk. I know you and Lisa Stallard talk a lot. So
I just talked to her this morning.
I figured so. And, certainly there are a lot of emerging technologies that are reshaping the recruitment landscape. AI powered screening, chatbots, video interviewing platforms, predictive analysis, automatic scheduling, everything. So I'm just curious, and Billy, thank you for bringing in and sharing, because we, like you, we have Aviante Bold, we're with Sense, we got the chatbot going on. We're just getting hooked up with a lot of different technologies. But I gotta say this, because I just have to. I don't get concerned about AI taking over recruitment, because to me, was, and always will be a relationship building business. You can disagree with me, and I'd love to hear anybody that wants to disagree with me. It's building relationships, and nothing's going to take a place of me talking to someone on the phone and building rapport and getting them to talk to me and share what it is they want out of life. I don't think a machine can do that, but love to hear someone's take on that.
I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
Deborah, I was going to say, I use this term lovingly. I'm very old school myself, that it's about the voice to voice, face to face. But I have definitely found that technology streamlines processes. It allows you to do both. You can do more in volume. But I don't disagree with you. And I struggle with that myself often. But I also see the value of being able to use it to tee up calls, help schedule calls, and it sounds and looks and everything like it's coming from me. So I get you. I totally agree with you. I'm old school myself, but there's a place for both.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tara.
I would just have to agree with that, because like the automation and like the everything in the back end that screens and answers and gives it that personal touch, like frees up so much more time that the recruiters can have in person with those, with the right candidates, or with the candidates that are actually raising their hands and showing up, and on the back end, because there's so much weeding out that they have to do, like just to retain the people. So like just sending them like in the background like a happy birthday text and it looking like it's coming from us, like just something like just as easy as that. But I would have to say, like, I'm also very old school, but I think it does free up a lot of more time that you have in person with them.
And that's very important. Honestly, I'm all about technology. I love Chat GBT. I use it all the time. I'm getting around, you know, it's a lot for me. I'm almost 70 pretty soon, so I'd say I'm hanging pretty good. But I still, you know, I'm keeping my eye on it, but I still stand my ground. Nothing like just having a good old fashioned conversation, like with one-on-one, even over Zoom or Teams. But I hear you. I just, you know, I'm just throwing it out there. What do y'all think?
Well,
Deborah,
what Sarah said
totally-
is exactly right, though. So what we're trying to do, though, especially with the staff, is to explain to them, like, this doesn't replace you. This makes you more efficient, so that you can have the face-to-face that you're talking about, Deborah, because it's never going to change. It's the way that you sell it to them to get them to use it.
Right. So it's the
opposed to
one
just using
thing,
it.
Billy, that, you know, we hear all the time is we don't have time, because I'm always trying to drive community relationships and getting out there and doing old school grassroots recruiting and networking. And, you know, I'm always hearing we don't have time. So the only hope and my goal is if this does work, it will allow them to take the time to do the things that I know work, right?
Oh yeah, no, it'd be shocking.
Oh.
I'm sure they're going to find other reasons to not have time too. No one would ever lie to us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was gonna, well, and I remember back in the day when I started in staffing, it was like we had to manually send time cards to every client.
Yeah.
We had to send confirmation text to every single person at all hours of the day. It was just literally like all the admin work that we had to do on
Sort
top
checks.
of filling
You had
jobs.
to sort all your checks in alphabetical order. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but what technology has really allowed us to do is be consistent, meaning that the recruiters will now do the first day check-in, end of the first week check-in, 30-day, 60-day, 90-day, and I'm saying on the client side and candidate side. So it just allows, and it documents everything. So it just it lets you get ahead of any potential issues, any potential something that's happening, and again, it's just consistent. Because I know in the old days, I'd have a printout of every customer I needed to check in with and every arrival call I needed to make. But then I get a 911 ASAP order. I get somebody needing a recruiter needing it doesn't happen. So at least I know that reach out is happening. And I've had many customers say, my voicemail's full. I don't even listen to it. I listen to it once a week. So they tend to also be very, very technology driven as well. So I think, again, a combination of the two is super important.
I was a bit surprised because Deborah, I'm in the same boat as you, and I think this is a people business, right? It's all about relationships, and that's really important. They shared a survey at that same conference that I was at. Generationally, though, there's certain generations, the newer generations, that actually don't want to talk to people. They don't like talking on the phone. They would prefer AI, and so I think as the candidate population shifts over the next 10 or so years, I think, you also have to meet the candidates where they're at. And so I think they're going to anticipate. There's a whole group of people that are growing up with using Chat GPT as their Google. That's where they go to for resources. And so it's not going to be weird for them. I think it's going to evolve over time, which I hate to say, but you have to
that's
meet the candidates where they
concerning
are.
It's also nice for them to go and re-engage your whole database. I mean, like we have I don't even want to say, I mean, we're smaller, but we have about 200,000 candidates, and Rick's had his business for a long time, and to have to go through and clean it up all by hand all the time is crazy. So we use the Sense Journeys, and the Sense Journeys basically just keep chasing them until they tell us to stop chasing them. So so that helps.
It's the point that I don't listen to my voicemails at all, but once we're friends, I would gladly talk to you face to face. But from a sales standpoint and the cold calling stuff, I'm not listening to voicemail. I need someone to engage you. Send me a text. Tell me what you want from me. That's great. But once we're friends, then I'll talk to you.
Or I'm gonna read the transcription of the voicemail and decide if I want to.
If you want to talk to them.
I hope it reads it right.
Yeah.
So guys, where are we currently? This is a good one, because where are we currently sourcing candidates, and are there untapped sources that we should be exploring? If you can share, anybody share, what are we doing today?
It's probably a shift on the question. I know probably everyone uses Indeed in some capacity. we have had such a poor experience with Indeed the last 6 months from a candidate flow standpoint, since they've changed some of their pricing models and how they attract candidates. So I'm curious if other people are experiencing something similar. And if you are, have you shifted to another source?
Well, it's crazy that you say that, Aaron, because in the last couple of months, we've had a better relationship with our
Oh.
Indeed candidate flow. I mean, not the quality because it's Indeed, like you never know what you're going to get. I think
Yeah.
that's the Indeed's thing there. I think everybody tries to get away from them, but like lately we've had triple than we've had in the last year and a half in the last
Wow.
2 months, which is insane. Honestly, I haven't seen it since 2021, really, the numbers that we've been getting. But I will say that they have made a lot of changes, and they're bringing things back and things like that. So we'll see if it's just the time of year. But we've used Workin, and I know reserves. You guys use Workin. Do you guys do too, Billy? Workin we used, I don't really know if we're like so satisfied with Workin, but that was something that we tried for a while just to try to reutilize our database as well. But that's our experience with Indeed.
Sarah, are you using the new hashtag system that they've implemented?
We are. Yeah, our number of candidates that are coming in on a monthly basis have been cut into a fourth of what it was about 6 months ago.
And not better quality. It's not cutting out bad quality. It's just cutting.
It's kind of hit or miss. When we first shifted, we had really great quality candidates. Now it's gone back to kind of what we always anticipated and expected from Indeed. And our world's a little bit different, right? In the healthcare world, that's not the primary place where clinicians go and seek, but for our like leadership level roles, we used to fill almost all of our jobs, and some capacity was associated back to Indeed.
Hey, Sarah, I know you're on the line, and I hate to put you on the spot, but Sarah manages our Indeed relationship, and we also use Data Frenzy and an integration with Indeed. And I certainly haven't seen if anything, we've had to tweak or adjust or change our job titles, the job description a bit, make it a little bit more, friendly for candidates to be interested in applying for it, and it's made a difference. But in general, Sarah, have you seen differences with Indeed that have caused a decrease in the candidate flow that we see for our postings?
The candidate flow has remained pretty similar to how it's been throughout 2023, but I think we have definitely had to pivot on some postings where the wrong applicants are being targeted and we're not getting ones that are a fit for the posting. But we've used ChatGPT to revamp them and really be able to pull out key qualifications. Sometimes I'll just copy and paste the job posting into ChatGPT and say, refine this, simplify it, and make it a little more enthusiastic, point out the kind of big selling factors of the role. So I'll definitely use ChatGPT to quickly revamp those postings, but overall our flow has been quite similar.
Thank you, Sarah. Sorry about putting you on the spot, my friend.
So everybody's still using Indeed, and basically, we're making them very rich. Okay. No other resource but Indeed. LinkedIn, I mean.
But we're definitely using LinkedIn. Yeah, we're using LinkedIn, we're using Craigslist where needed. Some of it just depends on the position, but we're not using Monster. We're not using some of the others that we used to use back in the day, but we've definitely found that Indeed, I think our recruiters have also found to get the right candidate, they have to do a lot of sourcing too. So we're not necessarily just pulling them from Indeed, but doing a lot of sourcing on Indeed and finding the candidates that we need. So we've actually, Indeed had a great offer last month, or I guess it was earlier this month. They did a retraining of our recruiters on how to do Boolean searches and how to be creative with how you do your sourcing. And it was a huge eye opener. And I'm talking, my recruiters are very tenured. Most have been here at least 8+ years. So they know how to recruit, but they learned a lot of new skills and had a great aha moments from Indeed. So I would encourage everyone to reach out to your account manager at Indeed and have them do the free 30-minute kind of training again with your recruiting team, because we're seeing definitely probably, I don't want to say more success, but equal amount of success sourcing as we do from some of our postings.
And I would have to say it kind of like, and this is everybody, right? Everywhere, everyone, company to company. I think it depends on your account manager. Because we've had a couple different ones throughout my journey. I mean, I had them in my previous company as well. And I think it just dives into the information that they're giving you. I mean, like our new account manager gives us exactly what jobs are working, exactly what jobs aren't, and like really dives into the data so that we can see what we're wasting our money on. I will say that that's helped us because like our last person, gave us good information, but would be like, okay, try posting 10 jobs every day, new jobs. And it just was so much more work instead of just looking at it as a whole, like, and actually looking at the performance of it kind of made us look at it different.
We are using a resume library. I don't know if that's applicable to you guys because we're all in different industries, but we're using it more for our direct hires and higher level placements. So it maybe in your area it's better for certain, maybe light industrial, maybe medical, I don't know, but they will give you a free trial so you can try it and see if you might find something there.
Awesome. This is a little bit different than like an outside sourcing tool, but we have had a lot of success in the last year creating Facebook groups that we own, and we kind of white label them and bring in people, share really good content to our target audience. We've made a significant amount of placements through Facebook and through TikTok for candidates. We have, I think, 5 white label Facebook groups. And we have our marketing team posts jobs and content in there every day, and so that has been a great resource. It costs time, but it's free, which is awesome.
Aaron, what do you mean white label? Maybe not everyone knows what that means.
Yeah, so it's not LeaderStat branded. So it's like one of our Facebook groups is travel nurse jobs across America. It's the name of the group. It's really
sort of
generic.
like a blind ad.
It's kind of blind. So we can control like what recruiters are in the group essentially from other companies because it's private. It's just LeaderStat recruiters. Lots of candidates will come in there. And it's not just about posting the job for us. It's about building that relationship. So we give them resources on licensure, on continuing ed. Around the holidays, we share all the companies that are providing discounts for clinicians and all that fun stuff. So it's been really, really great. I think in the last month or this month to date, we made like 76 placements through one of the groups. So it's really beneficial. It takes time, but it's been very helpful.
That's interesting that you say that. I mean, we haven't had any luck on Facebook, so we've actually stopped using Facebook, but I guess we didn't do the whole like white labeled groups. I guess that's something we didn't try. But I do think that that's kind of interesting just to stick with your community too. But
yeah, and I think a lot of it, Tara, is the content. People like to see real people and videos and things like that. Is that what you guys are doing up there, Aaron?
Yeah, so it's not like a Facebook page, it's a group. So it's people who are interested in those types of positions. So I'm thinking off the top of my head, like third shift, welders or something group, and you can post memes, and it's really like I'm in a fishing group in Charleston, right? So I go there to see like best places to fish and cool activities. I don't go there to be sold on stuff, but people do sell like charters and whatnot. But it's the same thing that we do for our travelers. We give them the content they want to look for, a community to talk to other people that do the same thing that they do. And then occasionally we're posting jobs and getting them to sign up for our newsletter and whatever it might be. It's just a slow way to build that relationship with them. It's worked out really well, but it took us probably 4 months before we saw, that return. It was that consistency. You got to build the group. I think it's up to 1,100 people are in the group. So
it takes time, Aaron. You're 100% right, and that's what they want. Everybody wants immediate satisfaction, and that's not how it works. You gotta build. You gotta build your brand on these social media sites. So Good for
Yeah,
you.
and I would also like to add here in Reno, it's not as huge as we would like it to be at times, and Facebook has been a huge success for us. And we learned to, there's a difference between a business page and a personal page that maybe some of us have. So we created two, just a normal Facebook, like if it was an actual person, and created a business one, because in the business one, you could actually create jobs, you could create job fairs, and on the personal one that we made for our office, you could actually add yourself, like Aaron said, to groups. And there's a huge group here in Reno, they call it Word of Mouth Reno, to where everybody goes on there and posts specifically about jobs. So for us, Facebook has been a huge help.
Interesting. Do you think you think that if I hear you right, the one that is not ran by your company, that is a whiteboard or whatever, is doing better than the one that's ran by your company, right?
Yeah, so UCP wasn't really a big fan of Facebook up until I came on board, because it has worked for me in the past and my previous job, which was at Chartwell many years ago. So I started a company, just a normal Facebook, not a business one. And that seems, it's easier to add people to it because you could just send friend request. And the business Facebook page, you have to get likes in order to people to be able to get your page known. So what we did is like if it was a person, a Facebook Reno per se, UCP Reno page, and started requesting a lot of people in the community. And once we had that connection with them, ask for them to go like our professional page. So like that it's two pages that we're running, but they both work really great, because on the personal one, you cannot create a job post or job fairs, versus in the business Facebook page, you can.
Thank you. So guys, I had a bunch of questions, and I don't know, geez, this is going so well. We're 10 minutes done. I'm so thrilled. It's a wonderful thing to be able to, do this and talk, and just feel free to ring in here. But, one of the things that, that we have to address, and it's like the key performance indicators. So what KPIs should we track to gauge the success of our recruiters and our firm as a whole? What are you guys doing? Billy, I'd love to hear you, and Kyle, and anyone else that wants to bring in here. What are you guys tracking?
What do we track for the recruiters?
Right. What's the most important thing?
GP. Their ongoing GP for a weekly basis. So we start there and look backwards. So 6,000 roughly break even for you. Anybody above 6 is going to be fine. Once you get to 10, that should be an average. We don't have this, by the way. So like, we have people who are sitting there thinking they're good at 8, 9, and 10. But if you get above 10 to 15 in light industrial, that is a good number to keep with. So that's the end all be all number. So if we look at that, we know after 6, they're paying for themselves. Then we go backward. I go backwards from there. If it's not working, how many new hires a week, how many submissions a week, and how many conversations a week. So a lot of people look at it the other way. If they're at the GP number, I let them go. But we want 150 conversations a week, which is, we need to evaluate by place, but they're still trying to figure that one out. And then submissions are typically 2 to 1 on fills, and 10 fills a week per recruiter will get them where they need to go for the business that we have.
Okay.
But that's what we're looking at.
Like the walk, Aaron, remember the walk back that so I'd love to have her come back again. I don't know if any of you were on this, but Aaron had a friend or a colleague from the past, and she did a webinar, Billy and Kyle, on walking back when it came to. Can you explain a little better to me here?
Yeah, it's basically what you just described, Billy, right? It's how you identify a problem. So you end with the end goal, right? The result that you want. And if they're not hitting that, you go back to each step that leads up to it.
Right.
And you dive in. And there's certain things that you can analyze at each point of it to, fix the problem. So it's very simple, but it's super effective. It's a great tool for managers, especially new managers who don't know how to have that conversation.
It's also a very good tool for me from a higher level management, where I don't have to dig into everybody. So I can identify the problems by looking at an office. I look at a region, and then I look at an office. If the region is not where it's supposed to be, and then I can walk it back that way. But if someone were to explain to start with, it'd go 150 conversations, 20 submissions, 10 fills will get you to your GP number if you do that every week. I just look at it the other way because I'm lazy. Yeah.
So while I have you here, Billy, what if I'm going to play devil's advocate with you now? Okay. You put that KPI out there and you got to hit that thing, right? And so what if they're not? What strategies and what are you doing to strengthen the recruiter's ability, or are you just throwing the baby out with the bathwater? I'm just curious.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, first of all, you got to think about the KPIs differently. I don't care if somebody makes 10 calls and has 10 placements a week. If they place 10 people every single week and make 10 calls, I'm not going to talk to them about anything because their GP number is going to be high enough.
Okay.
So I do not care that KPIs are always talked about in a sense that it's like a punishing thing or you have to hit it. What we don't sell well enough is that it's actually a tool to let people know if they had a good week or not. And you're developing a really good habits on those KPIs. So if you're saying, I do not care about the phone calls, I care about the end result. So if they're sitting at 10, 12, 1,500 GP a week, I don't care how they got there, as long as it's consistent. But I can use it as a baseline to go back to later on and go, all right, well, you're sitting at 3,000 GP. Let's look backwards. Well, you didn't have enough fills. Why didn't you have enough fills? You didn't have enough submissions. Why didn't you have enough submissions? You didn't have enough calls. Do you know how to set yourself up for the next week to have enough calls? So then we have those conversations. And I'm a huge believer in 30, 60, 90 improvement plans where there's actually a step on it. So it comes to that. And I ask the regionals or whoever I ask all the time, do they know what they're doing? Because it's one thing for me to go, hey, Deborah, I need you to get me 300,000. It's the old sales thing. I did the salespeople too. I need 300,000 in GP this year. Okay, good luck. See you later. The whole other thing to go, here's how we're going to do it. And for years, we just went, go get it. And at the end of the year, they went, well, it just didn't happen this year. But when you give them a plan on how to do it. So yeah, no, I want, especially because we have a lot of new managers, especially on the branch, I want them to know that putting plans together helps them be invested in it. And once they're invested in it, it lets them know that letting someone who isn't good go, it's okay because you did everything you could to help them, because no matter how long you do this, letting people go sucks.
Yes, it does.
And so throwing people out like that, I'm not a huge fan of that, but I am a huge fan of going, all right, who's on performance plans right now? Why are they there? What did you do to help them get better? Did they know how to plan their weeks? Do they know how to do this? And if the answer is yes, I did everything I can, then you go, we all like this person, it's just not the right industry. So to answer your question.
Billy, do you have a training department, or I'm just curious, do you have a learning and performance department, or do you do all the training? How's that work in your arena over there?
God, no, we would probably be bankrupt by now. Yeah, we have a training department. So we're just contracting now. Branch managers are new to us. So we just actually contracted today with someone who's going to start the branch manager level, the soft skills training, because we can't be there. Okay. We have a training department that's really good at process orientation. But for years, we've been really good at our people culture. We have a good company. They like working here. It's a family, but our business culture sucks. Okay. I haven't really quite understood that. So we're working, that's been my biggest thing since I took over this part of the job in, I guess, May.
March. You guys offer any incentive
Yes, we do.
You know what I'm saying.
Yes, we do. That is very new to us too. The incentive for the recruiters are based on GP, and they have tiered levels that way monthly. It's basically commission, but we call it incentive commission. The account people get it for people on assignment.
Okay.
Except for they don't know how that works. And so they're still learning. If you haven't got there yet, they don't know how to live on commission. I tell them all the time. I took the salespeople and went, here's a bag of cash. If you do this, you get this bag of cash. They'd all go, yep. All right, I'm going to get it tomorrow. And you give it to the other people like, this is like a bonus. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I'm an incentive-based manager. So like if I notice because even our best recruiter, he has $20,000 in light industrial, $20,000 in GP, right?
That's great.
He gets, it's
Fantastic.
awesome. It's fantastic, but
Can I have him?
yeah, no,
wanna
I'm
trade?
keeping him at all costs.
I'll give you 2 for 1.
But he also has his low weeks where he like gets overwhelmed and things. So I try to keep it like livelihood on top of their commission. And by doing like simple like incentives, like, hey, you know what? You grow this account by 5 people, the whole office gets $100. Or different like little attainable goals for them, especially for those new manager or those new recruiters, managers, and things like that, so that they can get that habit forming.
Yeah, that's great.
So guys, we're coming up on 3:56, but I have to have just one more question. And that would be, heading into 2024, what steps are needed in your opinion to ensure that your team will hit and exceed their 2024 goals?
If you can answer that question, we're going to be okay. How about you answer that question, Deborah?
Well, I think that, that's a big question. And I think that, we have to, I'm all about training people and mentoring them. And that's, I'm glad Marilyn's on this call. I have to tell you guys, our mentorship program has really, really done our company very well. I think that it's a mix of everything in 2024. I think it's leadership. I think it's setting attainable goals. I think it has to do with motivating and, sometimes you got to use the stick, but I'm more about using, positive structures in a business, giving rewards, not for showing up. You're not getting a trophy because you went to work today. Okay. I think it's creating a culture of inclusion. And I could go on about what I think, but I just think if you create a great place to work, great work takes place.
On those lines, Deborah, we implemented this year. So whatever our weekly goals are extremely attainable, but we offer time off for offices who hit them, starting with 30 minutes on Fridays to an hour to half a day. And then if the whole company hits them, they get the same time off. And for the company or for the offices who did, it's been a huge deal. They love it. They get so excited. And payroll gets in quicker too, for some reason. I've heard for 10 years that they get it in, and all of a sudden they have to have it on Tuesday. That worked out. Yeah.
Guys, I tell you what I hear all the time, what's really important to people is having a balance in their life. And I think this came from COVID, and people started to realize, my work-life balance is way off. I kind of like this, being at home kind of thing with my family. And I think that's where this all evolved. And Billy, I think that's fantastic. I think that it's not always about money. Everybody thinks it's about money. It's about having a balance in your life and feeling like you're worth it, and that, you're appreciated. And because we appreciate you, we want you to take, like you're doing, take half day off, take a couple hours off. That goes a long, long way. Well, guys, we about came to the end here. So now I'm going to see how we're going to do this. I'm going to have Aaron. I'm going to lay it on you, Aaron. I'm going to send the gift card to whoever wins it. But just for participation today, I was going to give a $25 gift card to somebody. So, Aaron, you can figure it out.
I'm picking someone.
Yeah, you're picking.
Oh, that's a big feat. Okay. I guess I'll close my eyes and just point. That's the best.
Okay, close your eyes and point.
Okay, I have Lindsay Grasnick.
All right.
Where's Lindsay at? I don't see Lindsay.
She's on the right side.
I don't see it, Lindsay.
She's
Why do
right
you
there.
see? Oh, there she is.
She's
Okay,
the one with the picture.
Lindsay, will you do me a favor? you're gonna have to email me my email is DLIGHTFRITZ. It should be on your, it should be. Is it, Aaron? Is my email and your email on the?
If you guys want, I can just connect you. It's probably easier that way.
Sounds good. I was saying,
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure you get this, and you can somehow get it to me. Are you on LinkedIn? I'm on LinkedIn, or I don't know if you're a part of me, but if you're not, I just want to get this gift card out to you. And I just want to, Aaron, you want to say our goodbyes for us and
Yeah,
tell them
thanks
what we
everyone.
had in store next year.
We have so many exciting recruitment masterminds in store for next year. I think the first one of the year, as many of you expressed, is going to be focused around AI. It's great to know that we have Converse AI as part of our group because their founder is incredible, full of tons of knowledge. But happy holidays from Deborah and I, and we can't wait to see you guys all in 2024.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
Bye, everyone. Take care.